Hello everyone and welcome to an unboxing of the Scarecrow releases for the Batman miniature game 3rd edition. Been really looking forward to these and they just arrived, and I apologise for them reflecting so much. That's because I just wanted to catalogue that this time everything I ordered did come shrink wrapped, all three. So we have the new Scarecrow, his crew, and objective cards that have a little bit of a couple of talking points to mention. We'll look at them all in detail in a second, but I'm just going to go quickly, remove all this, and I did shugle them this time to know there is stuff in there. Let's make sure though that everything is there that should be. Alright, the shrink wrap is all removed. Let's look at the new Scarecrow himself first, then we'll look at the tactics not tactics cards, the objective cards, and then the crew last. Because this is just a single model, but it is a leader model, leader size base, leader size box, classified as Scarecrow, the worst nightmare. Incidentally, the rules for these have been up on the app since the pre-orders opened. If I do want to reference anything though, I do already have my printouts of the cards right here. There's a lot of them, but it is an awesome looking miniature. They actually previewed this miniature in unpainted form ages ago, and right away it was kind of like the hint that there's a Scarecrow Crew coming. Well, that, and he was one of 4 options they pitched on a poll at one point as well. But yeah, awesome looking miniature. Not sure if it's actually an undead horse. It could just be fear effect of the toxins, or it could just be a horse made up to look undead. Either way, fantastic paint job. Very hard to replicate, but a stab will be taken at some point. Let's see that everything is in here. It should be in here. We have our protective inner layer of cardboard. What the... Oh, this is new. Quality control reference. Oh, is that what they're doing to handle their warehousing issue? So whoever checks a package, they can say, if someone contacts them to say, hey, my order's missing something, or I got sent an empty box, they'll probably ask, what is the quality control reference in the box, so they know who's to blame. That is clever. That is clever. That is a good way to find out who your weak link is. I approve. Let's make sure. That also explains why everything was done well with the shrink wrapping and whatnot. That's a very good idea, well done. Alright, we have some little bits that have come off of the sprue, but that's okay. We have our leader size base. We have our actual base. Pumpkins, spooky mist, or sly, no, it's mist, it's fear toxin mist. And a few slots. That's an interesting looking slot. Oh, it's because there's a fence right there. That's what that is. So actually the base should be orientated like that. Yeah, with the pumpkin on the front. So it would be like that. We have a tombstone for the back. We have Scarecrow's head, which has come off a little bit of sprue, but that's okay. That's Scarecrow's head. This is now empty because everything that was on it has come off. We've got the main body of the horse itself. A new horse sculpt as well, I think. They would have had to do because it's so skeletal looking. Part of Scarecrow on it. A little bit of flash there. Quite a bit of flash actually. There we are. Clean it properly later. I don't want to accidentally lose a bit. Yeah, so we've got to put on the ends of his legs. That's a little awkward. There's the other part. There's the other leg of the horse. So that is, and there should be one more. Yep. So it's all 4 legs to the horse accounted for. The awesome scythe he's holding. Love that. Then we have, not sure what that is. This is, I'm genuinely not sure what that is. I think it's his upper body. Oh yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, it's his upper body. I can't quite get my eye on it from this distance because I'm behind the camera. But yeah, that's his upper body. Okay, there's his 2 legs, his spindly little legs. Jonathan Crane is not exactly swole, but little parts you've got to be wary of, especially if they've broken off of that. Then we've got the horse's tail. Then we have the hand that's not holding the scythe. Or is that the hand that's holding the scythe actually? Because the other one's on there, isn't it? No, it's not. Oh yeah, there's one hand on the scythe. So both hands accounted for. And then that's the fence and another gravestone for the base. At a glance, that seems like everything is perfect. It's a bit of a shame it came off of that, but that's okay. That's not a problem. Clean up as always, but not too much. Maybe a little bit on that. Yeah, I would say the horse's body needs the most cleaning up. Everything else seems fine though. As always though, I'm not going to immediately go put these together after filming the video, so if I notice anything down the line, I'll put it in a sticky comment, but that seems perfect to me. So next we have our Scarecrow Crew card pack, objective cards and more. And if we just look at the back here, yeah, this is the first thing to note. This objective deck is 30 cards large, not counting objective cards that are unique to Scarecrow and other people we'll talk about in a second. And a while back they started beta testing some additional objective cards for every crew to bring them all up to 30, plus some for characters that don't have any, like Clayface, Nightwing, Killer Croc, you know, people like that. So I'm guessing, based on the fact that there's 30 in here, they are going ahead with increasing the cards available for each crew up to 30. You, as far as I'm aware, you still bring the same amount to a battle, but you get to choose, or you have a bigger variety to choose from, is what I mean to say. There we go. Finally got it off. That took me an embarrassing length of time to get it off. I better cut some of it out. Anyway, so we start with the 30 objective cards that Scarecrow gets. His deck has a lot of nuance to it, by the way. So Boo is 4 copies of that. And then we have 4 copies of Deepest Fears, and his deck revolves around these 2 cards, I feel. Then we have What Do You Fear? There's 3 of them, worth 3. Again, these are all on the app, so you can read them at your leisure if you want to know the exact details, but there will be a reference card to talk about some extra stuff. 2 Endless Torment, yep. Fear Makes You Predictable, 3 of. I've read the comic that exact picture's from, but I've forgotten the name of it offhand. It's the one where he's kidnapping kids. Living Nightmare, 2 of. Darkness Embrace, 2 of. It's Okay to Be Afraid. It's a line from Arkham Knight. And possibly a comic as well, but I know it from Arkham Knight when he's talking to Barbara. Intoxicated by Fear, 2 of. The Dawn Comes, 2 of. Test Patience, 3 of. And this is where things get unique. So his deck also has, or his crew I guess, has a fear mechanic. So there's a few fear cards. So this is actually out of place. Hang on, we'll do those in a second. Here is his fear cards, and that's his reference card. So these are, I believe they're played face up, shuffled and face up so you know what's coming, but the back of them is just your standard objective card background, because they can get shuffled into and out of his objective deck, and when they're drawn you apply the effect, usually to the opponent, but there is a card that scores if you do the effect to yourself instead. So they can do a bunch of stuff, like moving suspect markers, moving models, suffering the terror effect, which is also very important to him. Yeah, so I can't remember how many of these is there. To save me counting, there's 12 of them. There's 12 fear cards. Also, I love the art on them, very neat. So that, then we have the unique cards. We have Scarecrow's unique card for Leader Scarecrow only, called State of Fear, obviously based on the Fear State story. I've read the tail end of that, it was pretty good. Then we have New Compound, which is Dr. Fritawa? I guess if it's a Japanese name, it would Fritawa, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Either way, there's 2 of them. And then we have one for Hugo Strange as well, because he is in the crew box. But the other major thing is, first of all, how his affiliation works with the fear cards. That's described here. But on the other side of this should be a glossary of terms. Very kind of Magic the Gathering-esque I found this was. But this defines the special conditions by which his cards are used as resources. They have various conditions about when they can be used. This defines them all. Don't really need to go through them. You can pause if you want to read for yourself. But for instance, his one is exception while scored. So the effect comes into play when the card itself scores, and the card itself has the opening keyword, which means it's actually in play when the game begins, which is the one described at the bottom here. Super interesting deck. It's going to have a ton of nuance and trying to work it. Like, I've got a few ideas already. I've been brainstorming crews to use a few different varieties, but he's got to have a crew. Scarecrow's going to have a crew, so let's move on and look at it. And so we move on to the Trick or Treat Scarecrow Crew, and let's just look at the back here. You get 9 miniatures. Worth pointing out, new Scarecrow plus everything in this box except Hugo Strange is 350 rep on the dot. If you want Hugo Strange in, you're going to have to start cutting people. Also worth knowing that you get the 2 kind of Arkham orderlies. You get Dr. Fritawa, and they're real, but all the pumpkin demons, they are figments of imagination, and they work a little bit similar. Like, they have a lot in common with the plant models for Poison Ivy and Birds of Prey, but they're different in quite important ways. Like, they spawn off of suspect markers, but then the suspect marker is moved rather than removed. They inflict terror and true terror, which is a different effect related to the objective deck, and just harass the enemies. And as I open the box, they have a rule where if they are attacking or being attacked, you go by the willpower of the enemy halved rounding down. So that means 5 or less willpower is going to count as 2. Now for models like Batman and whatnot, it's not going to make a blind bit of difference because their willpower, their willpower is so high, so it's not going to make any difference to them at all. Oh, that's the big tree, isn't it? Okay, that is everything. I don't know if that's the same number as on the other one, but again, that's a very clever way to keep track of who's doing their job and who isn't. What was I saying about the figments of imagination? Yeah, they go by willpower, so people who should have big willpower, like your Batman models and whatnot, they're not going to care because they can face their fears. Little henchmen, it's going to be a lot harder for them, and that's so thematic and lovely. So we have 4 different baggies. This one looks like it's just the tree beast, I think it's called, or it's called the something beast. Where is it? Fear Beast Nightmare. He's slightly stronger because most of them are just attack 2, defense 2, 2 willpower, 2 endurance. So they're still probably going to get taken out, but it's a little bit harder with it going on your willpower instead. So he is also on a leader size base. I actually thought he was on the medium size. He is larger than I thought. So the Fear Beast, aka Big Tree, is, well, I'm not going to, let's see, it must be like that. Yeah, there we are. He is a large lad. Oh, actually there is another one in here because that's the body for, ooh, which one? The one that's an actual Scarecrow. Yeah, so that means he's with that. He's with that. There's the bottom half of the Scarecrow, I think. There's the base for the Scarecrow. They all come with themed bases filled with pumpkins, which I love. Oh, again, everything's kind of come off the sprue bit there, but that's fine. Didn't for this one, weirdly. What are those? I think that's the hands of the Scarecrow. Oh no, it's ravens. There we go, I turned it around. It says 2 ravens that are perched on his shoulders because they're not scared of the Scarecrow for some reason. That's his base. That is someone's hand, but I'm not sure it's the Scarecrow's hand. Is he holding a gun? Sorry, let me pull it to my face here so I can see it better. I can't tell what that is. Oh, it's probably one of the orderly's hands. I don't think it should be in this bag. It could be one of the orderly's heads. Oh, it is. Oh no, that's Hugo Strange's head. Yeah, I'm fairly sure that shouldn't be in this. Oh wait, no, is that his body? Oh, it is. Never mind, I apologise, I got it wrong. This is Hugo Strange. Hugo Strange's body, upper body, that's his head, that's one hand. And he's kind of pulling his glove off. That's why it looks so weird to me. I thought he was holding like a banana gun. Oh, yeah, there we go. And that says Arkham. Alright, so he is a free agent. He has a leader stat line. And to be honest, he's costed like a... as I kick the camera. He's costed like a leader as well. I think the crew works without him. But he is very handy. The Fear Beast... he'd probably be the first one you drop because he's more expensive than the other Nightmares. But either way, it looks like everything is there that it should be. I don't want to risk losing anything, so we're going to do a cut here before moving to the next bag. So what is in baggie number 2? We have ourselves... oh, this is the actual Scarecrow one, I think, because this is the mouldy looking pumpkin. It would be very hard to get a close-up. You'll just have to wait until I paint them and then see close-ups then. Oh yeah, so they're on the smaller themed bases, yeah. So that is one, although this has got to be bits for more, right? There's a bunch of ravens here and some fences. Without assembly instructions, this is going to get a little confusing, but it is definitely a Scarecrow one because that's a stick with a body on it. Yeah, it is. Okay, it's a bit hard to tell whether it's all here. I see the moldy head, 2 hands, the stick. I think this is the other half. So this has got to slide onto this somehow. Is that? I don't think it's meant to be this tall, but yeah, this is going to take some fiddling. I have no idea how that fits together. But we have some birds that are sitting on him here. I didn't realise his base had so many. Although on the box, to be fair, he's blocked by Hugo Strange, so it's hard to see him by himself. But he has, what, 5 ravens? Or crows? Okay. Okay, second last baggie. Let's have a quick look. Try and make sure we can discern if anything is missing. Probably not, though. Based on them checking orders now. We have 3 of the models in here. We have 3 scenic bases for them. Again... we have things just falling off the sprue there, but that makes it a little bit harder to categorize them. That's the pumpkin with the head, so he's the one who's kind of hunched on a wall. Yep, there it is. So that's it. Oh, he's got super long arms. Huh, I never realised. Oh, he really does, yeah. Okay, so that goes with him. And then, where's his crouched kind of like squatted legs? There they are right there. So that's his legs. One of these is his body. It's not that one because that's the big hulking brute one. That goes with him. That could be his... No, that's not his body. That's the one that's holding up a pumpkin. That's his body, I guess. I'm not sure. But there is enough bodies. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there is enough bodies in here. That's one of his hands. Because I can tell because it's a bit bigger than the rest. At a glance, it seems like everything is here. This is one where I'm going to have to assemble them to know for sure. So this last baggie has to be the 2 orderlies. The Arkham orderlies. One of them's holding electric, like charge pad thingies. The other one's got a shock stick. Oh, and Dr. Fritawa, that's who else we're missing. Yes, that must be all 3 of them. That is her. She's the sidekick. She's also Intel support. And she has a couple of upgrades you can buy that start before the game starts, which is really nice. So that's her body there. There's one of the orderlies. Let's just pretend that's her base. I'm not 100% sure if it is. There's the little guy. Let's see, that's her head. Oh, is this a hand? Yeah, that's a tiny, tiny hand. I'm not sure whose, but that is going to be a pain to get on. That's the fat lady's hand. That's one of her hands. This, I don't even know what this is. Hang on, let me pull it to my eye. Oh, it's the top of the shock stick, so it would go on top of that. Okay. I think that's her other hand. So I'm not sure whose hand that is. That's the orderly's hand that goes up there. That is her other leg. So that's with him. And what is she holding? She's holding up like a vial. Where's the hand that's holding up the vial? Is that what's maybe missing from this and it's slightly misshapen? Because this doesn't look right to me. Hang on. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think this is a miscast hand for her. I'm not 100% sure. I think that's in focus. You can tell that the end of it is not shaped correctly. I'm not 100% sure. But I don't see any of these hands holding, like she's holding a vial up in the air. And it's not on her. And that's a leg. That's not holding a vial. Nope, that's the stick. That is not holding a vial. Neither of those hands is holding a vial. And this hand over here isn't holding a vial. Yeah, it's a miscast for her hand. That's a shame. That's really hard to spot. I'm not going to necessarily kick up a fuss about that, but that is a bit of a shame because now she's going to be holding up a weird looking hand instead of a bottle of fear toxin or something. That's what that's meant to be, I think. I don't see anything else in here that looks like that, but maybe I missed it in one of the other bags. I don't think I did though, because I kind of spaced it out. Yeah, it's just her head. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a miscast of her right hand. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else that looks like it. I guess I could make it look freaky, like maybe it's turning into fear mist or something. I don't know. It's not worth chasing up. I'll just improvise. It is a shame though, because it's kind of fun that she's holding up a vial or a bottle of toxin. Overall though, not bad. One little thing that's miscast that would be really hard to spot. So to end on, you almost got a perfect score, Night Models. One miscast hand cost you a perfect score because everything else is, at a glance, again this might change once I actually assemble the models, but at a glance everything else seemed absolutely perfect. Your idea for implementing some quality control by making people culpable for what they are quality controlling is an excellent idea. It is a very effective way of rooting out serial problems. People who are a consistent problem to the quality leaving your warehouse. That is a very good idea. Please keep doing it and make the people who do make mistakes more than once, everybody makes mistakes now and then, put them out the door, quite frankly, because they're costing you business, and hopefully this will fix it. That's a good thing. I'm really looking forward to assembling this crew. It's going to jump to the top of my to-do list, so it shouldn't take me too long to work out if there was any other issues I happen to miss. Love the aesthetic, love the models, love the look of them. The objective deck seems really good, and there seems like a lot of options, but you have to give and take, because like I say, if you want Hugo Strange in the list, you have to cut a lot, and you need the nightmares to make his cards work, so you can't cut all of them. or maybe you can and make it work in some way, but not any way I've found to date. But yeah, really look forward to this crew. I'm glad it's here, and I'm glad it was near perfect. That is going to do it. Thank you very much for watching. If you also got an order of the new Scarecrow Crew, let me know how you got on. And thank you again for watching. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Ta for now.